So this is like your quiz 2.0. Do what you did on your quiz again. What is the vertex of this graph? I don't have a better explanation than it's that point right there. So you got to look at, just leave that. I'll get that at the end. Just write this down. All right. What is this point right here? Yeah, but I'm asking what the numbers are. 1,4. Very good. All right. The x-intercepts. Again, I don't have a better explanation than look. It's these two. -1, 0 and where's the other one? 3, 0. You're just looking at the graph. You just have to know which part of the graph to look at. All right, y-intercept. What is your y-intercept? 0, 3. Good. You got everything in the right order too. So nice job.
0, 3.
Just leave that. I'll get that at the end. I'm done with you guys throwing them all over the place. All right. What is the domain for all of these? It's just the answer.
X equals all real.
Well, yeah, it's like a little e. All right. All reals. It means X is an element of real numbers. R stands for real. If you know R is reals and that means everything, then you're good. Shush. All right, range is Y. Here's your cutoff number. Where's your cutoff number at? 4. Do you want everything above 4 or below 4?
No.
So less than or equal to 4. Very good. I don't like how I drew this, so I'm going to read this.
And where did the cat go? Actually,
I will get it when we're done. All right, now this is the part that you guys struggled with on the quiz. Can you extra listen to this? What is the factored form? It means what are the factors? Those are your parentheses. And remember, it is opposite. So do you see how this is -1? So in your parentheses, you're going to put x plus 1. Good, because you're looking for 0. -1 plus 1 is 0. What's the other one going to be? X minus 3. Bless you. All right, other words for x-intercepts. Shush. The reason I have this on here is because no matter what the directions say, you'll be able to know what it's asking for. Basically, if you're not sure what it's asking for the x-intercepts. One of them was zeros. That's because that's where it touches 0 on the x-axis. Roots is another one. And solutions. So no matter which one of those words the directions use, you need to know that you're looking for x-intercepts. Now listen to me. How many questions do I have in this next section? 5. This is a large part of the test, and all you're going to do is put it in the calculator. Please get these right for the love of my sanity. We'll do 2 of them. Let's do this one right here. Let's do 4. All I need for you to do is watch. Can you watch? All right. 2x squared plus 11x plus 15. Do you see that? Oops. Cool. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Where am I going to click? I want to zoom in. Shush. X-intercepts. Good. Are you looking?
Yeah.
So here's the first one. -3. Do you see that? Write that on your paper. -3 is one of them. And then the other one is -2.5. What if in your multiple choice, it's not written as -2.5, it's written as a fraction? Well, look, you can come over here and type -2.5 and then do what to turn it back into a fraction? Hit the little fraction button. It'll say -5/2. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be on the test. So write -5/2, right, as your answer. So it's -3 and -5/2. And then let's do this one. You can't type that in yet. Why not? What's wrong with it? Like, what's the problem? Does not equal 0. Perfect. How will we make it equal 0? -4. Good. So what I am going to type in the calculator is 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. You don't have to type the equal 0 part. You just need to know where to, click on the calculator screen. All right. So let me just change this because it was pretty similar. 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. All right, here's the first one. You see that? -4, write that on your paper. -4, and let me click on the other one. Now that one, I cannot use the calculator to turn back into a fraction. You have to actually kind of know that one. It's 0.333333. As a fraction, that would be 1/3. It won't fix that one for you, so you have to actually kind of know.
It says equals like -4 and plus 4, and you type in the calculator 3x squared plus 11x plus 4.
Yes. You just type whatever it says right there. I'm not going to do the rest of these because you're just going to put it in the calculator. I don't want to put you to sleep here just watching me type stuff in the calculator. Can you use your calculator? Put it in, click on the x-intercepts. That's all that is, right? Now here we're gonna write the factors and the zeros. Let's actually do the zeros first. What's the first one?
-3.
-3, good, and 4, perfect. Now, when you write the factors means those parenthesis things, so draw 2 parentheses. Perfect, x plus 3, all right, I got you guys listening to me now, and then, good, cool. Do the zeros first, I think that's easier, because you just take them from the graph and write them down, and then your factors, you just do the opposite of that. We'll do a couple more and then we'll call that our halfway point. We'll do like the first half of this page. We'll call that our halfway point. All right. And now this one's matching. You're going to match each with the number of zeros it has. You're not actually finding the answers. You're finding how many answers there are. Okay. So all I need you to do is watch and listen and pay attention. All right. What was that first one? X squared and then what? Plus 3x plus 7. You're not actually, oh no, it didn't show up. Let me hit the little home button. Oh, there it is. How many answers, zeros, solutions, whatever you want to call them, does that have? None. Good. Do you see how it doesn't touch the x-axis? It's kind of floating up there. So that would be no zeros. So letter C, as in coconut. All right, now I'm going to share my screen and do the other one. X squared minus 6x plus 9. How many x-intercepts does that one have? 1. Do you see how it only touches 1 time? Again, you're not actually finding the answer, just how many there are. And then, so if you type in this last one, it's going to hit the x-axis twice. It's the last one that's left. So that's how it's going to have to match up. This is common sense. This is not me really teaching you anything. This is like, if you've been alive for 14 years, you should be able to figure this out. But you have to calm down enough to listen to me, to pay attention, right? Initial means what? Beginning. Initial means the start. So this is the rocket goes up and comes back down. What is the initial height? Yeah. Do you see that there? 108. And is it feet, meters, yards? What is it? Feet. You need units for a story problem. All right. The maximum heights. Again, use your common sense. Good. 144 feet. Distance is in feet. The time it took to reach that maximum height, well, this is still the maximum. The time it took to get there is 1.5 seconds. It's 1.5 right there. Oh, the next one. Time to reach the ground. This is the ground. It hits the ground at 4.5 seconds. All right. So for this one, I'm going to share my screen. You guys need to look this direction. All right. What button do I hit to like get the whole thing started? Plus table. Look, if you guys don't know what buttons to press, you're not going to be able to do this at all. Like it isn't any work, but you have to know how to type it in, and you can color SpongeBob at the end. So put that away for right now. All right. So I'm going to type these in. 11, 15, 18. All right. I don't see any points over here. So now what do I click? Good. Perfect. Is it a line or is it a U shape? It is a line. So we are going to, on our paper, choose linear. And then when I go back here to do the equation, because it's linear, what do I type? And you have to know which one's which. That's part of what you're being tested on.
Y equals mx plus b.
Good.
But
Y equals mx plus b. Good. We're going to put the ones in there and then change it to the tilde. All right. Now, if you're in the back, you probably can't see that, but it says what M is and it says what B is. On your paper for letter B here, you're going to write Y equals, and it says 0.7 x minus 0.5. And again, hold on a second, because I can't have both screens up there at the same time. But it just said 0.7 and negative 0.5. So I just took those and put them into the equation. You just have to write it on the paper. And then the last one, you're going to do a prediction. Using that model, how many minutes would Mina need to practice in order to make 23 free throws? All right, look, most of the ones we did in class, they gave you X. But do you see how free throws is Y? Sometimes it's backwards, all right? So we're going to say Y is 23. Oh, this was a basketball problem. The more you practice, the better you get and the more free throws you should make, right? In theory, right? And then we're going to find X. Yes, go ahead. Good job.
So it'd be a 23.
It was in the problem. It was just written there.
Oh,
So down here, I'm gonna write y equals 23. Do you see how it put a line on the graph? This time it was horizontal. Where am I gonna click? Intersect. So for 23, see the 23 is there? Yes, 31.57. I'm gonna write 31.6 minutes. Please put the units. That makes me know that you understood the problem. All right, the more you practice, the better you're gonna get. All right, we're gonna try one more. A football is kicked into the air. So here, let me clear out all of this. You have to clear it out and start completely over. Make a new table. All right, what is this? 0, oops, 1. Oh, it just goes up. That's convenient. All right, and then what do we got? 3, 7, 10, 11, 9, 6, 2. All right, I'm gonna hit the magnifying glass. Do you see how it's a U shape? On your paper, circle quadratic. Now you have to know this. Do not call me over while you're taking the test and go, what's the equation? I can't tell you. It's what I'm testing you on. It's y equals, what have you got? Do you remember it? Good, ax squared plus bx. Good, oh, proud of you. All right, and then you're gonna put ones after the x's and y and the tilde, the squiggly. All right, now again, if you're in the back, you probably can't see those numbers, but they're right here. It gives you A, B, and C. What you're gonna write on your paper is y equals negative 0.9x squared plus 5.2x. Hold on a second. Now it's 2.97. I'm just gonna round that up to 3. And again, I'm sorry, I know you can't see it because I can't have both screens up there, but I just took the numbers off the calculator and put them in there. Go ahead, what's your question? Oh, like make it bigger? Well, I don't feel like it. And you made me forget the other thing I was gonna say. Oh, do you remember how on like Schoology and Delta Math, it would mark them wrong if you rounded wrong? Well, that's because those are computers and they can't understand. I am not a computer. And so if you even, like if you round wrong, what I'm saying is I'm not gonna mark it wrong because I'll understand that you got the right answer. Do you get what I'm saying? All right, so I want you to do 1 decimal point, but don't panic about it because I'll be able to tell, okay? Use the model to predict the height at 2.5 seconds. Do you see how seconds time is x? We're gonna put x equals 2.5 and go. Now, before I even type this in, what are gonna be the units for our answer? Y is what? Yards. Whatever you get, it's gonna be yards, all right? So I'm gonna come down here, type in x equals 2.5, click the intersection. Oops.
0.35.
Yep, so we'll say 10.4 yards. But like I'm saying, if you wrote 10.37, like I can mark that correct because I'm not a robot and I understand that that's, you know, the right answer. Okay, so don't worry about the rounding so much. All right, these ones you have to actually do work for. This is the first thing on here that you have to actually do work for. All right, does this equal 0? No, so you're gonna subtract the 60. This was your thing. You're really good at this. All right. So we're gonna have x squared minus 4x minus 60 equals 0. Please write this down. This is the only part of the test that requires work. Right. Draw your x off to the side. What goes on the top? Good, perfect. On the bottom, -4. Now, if you don't know all the numbers that go into 60, I want you to think about it, but look, I'm gonna make you a table over here and we'll find them. Do you know some numbers that go into 60?
32.
So 10 and 6, is that gonna work? Oh, that's gonna work? Okay, well, you got it before I could even make the table, but look, there it is, 10 and 6. -10 and +6. Good, all right, draw your 2 sets of parentheses. It's gonna be x minus 10, x plus 6 equals 0. And then when you write the answer, that's not new. We did that last unit. This is the only step that's new is where you write the answers. And it's just opposite because you want it to be 0. So what's your first answer?
10.
Yeah, good. Perfect. That's the only new step is writing the answer at that. Now this one equals 0, yay, but it has a number in front of the x squared. So it's actually a little bit of a harder problem. So it's kind of like not yay. All right, how do you get what goes on the top of it? Yeah, good. 4 times -6, that's -24. On the bottom is -5. So I need some numbers that multiply to be 24. Can you pick up a pencil, write this down with me? 8 and 3 is correct, good. Please write this down with me.
No. No.
-8. Good, but you have to write it. There's a connection between writing and memory, okay? Now, you can't just write x minus 8, x plus 3. You have to put them over 4. Good. All right, just don't forget to do that, because if you forget, I can't really do much partial credit because you left off like half the problem, right? That's going to reduce to -2/1. But if you didn't know that, you would put it in the calculator. All right, and then the other one is 3/4, which you cannot do anything to. So when you draw your parentheses, start with the denominator. So this one will be x minus
Oh, yeah.
x minus 2, and then that one is 4x plus 3. Now this one you can do in your head. What does this one give you? 2. And now this one you probably can't do in your head. All right, so we'll just work that off to the side. What would you do to get rid of the plus 3? Yeah, -3. So that would give you 4x equals -3. And then divide by 4. So -3/4. And then this last one is that formula that we were doing. You're going to write out A, B, and C. Stick with me, it's the last one. A, B, and C. What is A? What number? It should just be a number. 2. Good, perfect. B is -4, -1. Good job. Oh, because we subtracted over the 3. And it's always opposite. So like if this is a plus right there, your answer will have a minus. It's always backwards. All right, so reading the formula, all you got to be able to do is read. Do you see how it says -b? Look at -b. So that would be -4. So just 4. Good job. Negatives canceled out. -b. So -4 would just be 4. Plus and minus, that's what makes there be 2 answers. Draw a gigantic square root. And then we're going to put the part under here. So b squared, that's -4 squared. If it's positive, it doesn't matter so much. But if that's negative, you need the parentheses, or when you go to the calculator, it's not going to calculate it correctly. So give every number a hug. Give them a hug, all right? What comes next? I want you to just read. -4. And then it says AC. So what did we say A was? 2, and then C -1. Good. You all right? Okay. And then gigantic fraction bar, it's over 2A, which is 2. We're going to use our calculator to clean this up a little bit because that does look awful. All right, it's going to be 4 plus and minus. Don't type the square root. You're just going to type the part underneath the square root and just watch. I will type it in for you. I'm just going to type it exactly like it looks. It's parentheses, -4 squared. -4 times 2. Oops. There, 24. You see that? So that goes right there. 24 over 2 times 2 is 4. Now that 24, you're going to have to split. Draw 2 little houses. I need some numbers that multiply together to equal 24. But neither one of those is a perfect square, but you're on the right track. That would be 64, actually. So I need some numbers that are smaller. There we go. Hey, let me finish this problem, then I'll get you your stuff, okay? So we're going to come up here. It's going to be 4 plus and minus. Now, what is your square root of 4? Because that's like the whole point. 2. So 2 square root of 6 over 4. And then the last step, you can't touch what's in the root, but what do the rest of these all divide by? 2. So you're reducing the fraction is what's happening. If you divide them all by 2, good, 2 plus minus 1 square root of 6, which you don't have to write the 1, over 2. But, and I'm going to say this on the recording, so if anyone is absent and watching this, it will be multiple choice. Do you remember how I showed you that you can type this problem, type the answer, and pick the one that matches? Cause if not, I'll show you real quick. Here, humor me, cause I want you to get it right and it's super easy. Can you guys just look? 2x squared, like I'm doing it because I care about you and want you to get the answer right. What is it? Minus 4x. Oh, I got caps lock on. Can you stop that? 2x squared minus 4x minus, can you stop that? All right, so see how if you hit the x squareds, there are all these weird decimals? Or not x squared, the x intercepts, sorry. So let me type this in. 2 plus square root of 6 divided by 2. That's the answer we got. Do you see how it's 2.2247 blah, blah, blah? See how that matches this? I mean, they rounded it, but, and then if you do the minus, it's this one.